Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Local Pundit. I'm Josh Anthony. This is your Wrexham reaction for FA Cup Round 3. Shrewsbury Town 0, Wrexham 1. Yes, another clean sheet for Wrexham. Yes, and AO was fantastic in the back. But yes, as you can see on the thumbnail, it is, "That one's for you, mate. That one is for you, mate." And that is a quote from number 38 in the middle of the park, Elliot Lee. Afterwards, he had an interview. And, yeah, everyone was listening to what Tommy was saying, who wasn't even on the pitch today, or on the bench at Croud Meadow. And guess what? That one is for you, mate. And it was a big win. And we're going to get into it a little bit. Some of the quotes from the manager afterwards. We had some quotes from Stash, Tom O'Connor, with his goal, 72nd minute goal, and a fantastic goal. Yes, deflected. Who gives a monkeys? But it was in, and I love it. So we're going to hear some from Parky, get my thoughts on it, hear from Tom O'Connor, and also Gio. But yes, that is it. It's a dedication game to Tommy. Yeah, keep talking, Tommy. He wasn't even on the pitch. So, it was a tough match. I thought that it was obviously, the great traveling support. As you can see, 659 away fans were there, great supporters. They were screaming the whole time. Apparently the pitch was a little soggy, but we'll get into a few things with the quotes in here, but it was a really, really tough match. And some people ask me, what the hell are you waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning to watch football for, to watch a game at 6 a.m.? That is why I am here, and that is why we are all here, and we're watching this match, because it's incredible. It never stopped, and I love it. It is fantastic. So, all right, get involved, like, share, subscribe. We are on our way to 1,000 subs. Yes, we can't cross 250. Then we're going to go to 5 and 1,000. That is on our way. So thank you all. Let's get into it. So, yeah, let's talk about the Elliot Lee quote. He said, he said after the match he was getting interviewed. Elliot Lee said he thought they would score even more. He thought they would score even more, and he'd like to dedicate that one to their player Tommy Flanagan, who said they were full of semi-pro players last year, and that one is for you, mate. So that is the best quote of the day. And winning always puts a smile. And you talk smack. There you go. You play with the bull, you get the horns. After the game, Parkinson did get interviewed actually twice. I saw 2 interviews with him. He was jacked up. He said he was very pleased. Tough place to come. Said Shrewsbury pressed really well, and they did. They caught us out. They caught us out up front. They did do well up front, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But he went on to say they pressed really well in the first half. They caught us out a little bit. But he thought that we grew into the game. This is not full quotes, but this is the genesis of what he's saying. I don't want to misquote him, but I was just taking down some notes. They just thought they deserved a victory. Obviously, they had a couple chances towards the end of the game. That meaning Shrewsbury, and they did. They came close twice. And it could have been a different day. But on this day, it was us. It was a big day for us. It was an important win on the journey of this club, and we made another statement. Really solid first division club, and we won the game. Credit to Shrewsbury, who made it a real cup tie. It was a hard game, and we had to dig in really deep at times. Had to control possession, and he said there were times when it was on the first half. They had to go to Fletcher a little bit early, so I think they were trying to go over the top to Fletcher a little bit early. We didn't have the ball on the ground as much as we wanted to, and I think that's where Gio came into play in the second half, getting the ball out wide, and he mentions that too, and I'll get into those quotes in a minute. But he said it was a hard game. He had to really dig into times, had to control the possession, had to get into Fletcher a little bit. The second half, they thought they played the balance a little better. He said the pitch was a little bit spongy because of the rain, but it was that for both teams. Tough, tight match. Lots of pride at stake for both sides. Lots of history between Shrewsbury and Wrexham. Yes, and I'll get into that in a second. Credit to the lads who kept their heads and kept 11 on the pitch. Yes, as you can see in the thumbnail, there is a picture there of McLean with the little sealed with a kiss. I love it. And he got into it. Him and I think Bowman. Was it Bowman? Let me see. Him and Bowman got into it a few times, and he was a guy with a great hair. Him and Bowman, McLean got into a few times. They both got carded, yellow cards, and got a bit chippy at times. There were some tackles. The ref was really uneven, in my opinion. I thought he was really, and his name was Andrew Kitchen. Well, you can't get in the kitchen. Andrew Kitchen, yeah, it was a little uneven at times. I thought he let the first half go a little too far. I thought that Kenny was went into probably every Wrexham player on the pitch. I don't even think he got carded in the match. I don't think he did. No, Kenneth stayed on the entire match. He did not get carded, but I thought the ref was really uneven in the first half. There were a lot of tackles that went in. Cannon tried to throw the ball on the sideline, and I think it was Feeney or Perry that pulled him down on the sideline to prevent a throw-in. I thought that was a little ridiculous. It could have got out of hand. I'm glad it didn't. And to Parkinson's point, he said, we kept 11 men on the pitch. So that was his first quote. Those were his first quotes. The second interview that I saw, he said, Parkinson, and this one is on the Wrexham website, on the YouTube that came out. I think the first one was for ESPN or whatever it was overseas, S42 or S44, whatever it is. He said, a day for the supporters today. They deserved it 15 years ago, defeat that sent us down out of league status. So that's very important, very, very damaging, great for the supporters, really good win against Fleetwood Town here, meaning Shrewsbury. So he knew that they were going into a match and it was going to be a tough match. Again, these are just like not exact quotes, but kind of the genesis of what he was saying. He said, we are slow out of the back. As the game went on, we grew stronger. We felt the press would die, and as the game went on, and it did, they were pressing really high up the pitch. In the first half, credit to Shrewsbury Town. They pressed high. They pressed Cleworth a bunch of times, and Tozer in the back line. Anthony Ford didn't really get a kick in. He didn't have a bad game, but really couldn't impose himself to get up that line and get those balls in the box is what you wanted to do. And we started going long. From I think it was O'Connor. They started going throwing the ball long a little bit. They got to try to get some channels in there, which didn't really work out. So, it was a very tough match. He went on to say the game was more or less how we thought it would be. We didn't make the right decisions in the first half. Because they were pressing us. Second half they stepped up our game. We stepped up our game, meaning Wrexham stepped up their game. He said they asked him about Gio. Gio's great, number 12. He's my man of the match. Gio's my man of the match. Even though Stash scored the goal, I think Gio really settled the game down in the second half, and I really felt he was the one that dictated play, had the lead up to the goal as well. They asked him about Gio. He said Gio was outstanding in all aspects of the game, controlling it, headers, tackles, regains, passing the ball, and switching the play, which is very important. Passing out of tight areas because there was no time of the ball in midfield. They pressed really well. You take ball, I'll take man. There was a really crowded midfield. And yes, so he was really good in there. Parkinson went on to say Gio was good, creation and overload, getting the ball to wide areas. He was instrumental and really good today. It was a hard game. He thought that Shrewsbury Town was a powerful League One outfit, and they are. They're a powerful League One outfit. They've been in League One for a while. But hey, maybe they're going up or going down, and we'll see on the way down. But we'll be going up, hopefully. Touch wood. Don't say it out loud. There we go. Powerful League One side, he mentioned. He said it was a great test for us today, and we stood up well. He went on to say, leading up to the game, they're not the best footballing team in League One. They're a powerful team, and you could see that. They were very aggressive. They got into us, touch tight, all over the pitch, up from pressing up to Okonkwo and Tozer and O'Connor and Cleworth, and also in the midfield. Elliot Lee and Gio and Cannon worked hard, but we weren't able to get any time on the ball, which I think affected the match. So he's obviously right. He's the manager. He said, as you go up in leagues, more teams are quicker and more powerful. He was interested to see how we would do, and we did well. The first 10 to 15 minutes, we looked as if we were cut out a bit, like you mentioned before in the other interview. And he said, as the game wore on, we got stronger and stronger, and technically we improved it well. Parkinson was asked about Tommy O'Connor. He said Thomas O'Connor. Thomas O'Connor, he said, is a good finisher. He said he hasn't had a lot of goals this year, but they will come. He's calm. He took the pass in from Dalby, and it was a great finish, even though it took a deflection, and we'll take it. It was great. 72nd minute goal. Fantastic. And Tom O'Connor was talked to after the game as well. Parkinson was asked about the fans. He said, the FA Cup is a bonus for us, but we have to represent the cup, represent the competition. We sent the supporters home with a win. The lads are very happy with that. And yes, I think Parkinson is respecting the cup. Now we're in the second season in a row going into this fourth round, which is very, very important. And, it's so great. It really is great to see this happen. Woke up very early this morning. I'm happy to do that, as I mentioned before. But to see the team perform, the first half was a bit uneven, but, it's such a great watch. and you could see the passion and the walk through brick walls for the team. During the match, you can see that McLean was getting a little bit. McLean was giving it to the crowd. He was giving it back. All in good fun. No one was really going in on anybody in that regard, but it was such a good match and it was such a great watch. And everyone that joined us on the watch along, thank you very much. I'm so grateful and appreciative. And a lot of new faces, a lot of the some of the old faces. So it's really great to see everyone coming. Thank you so much. Okay, Tom O'Connor was also interviewed as well. My man Stash, the score, got the winning goal. They asked him about the goal, and he said it was a good win. We know what it meant to the fans. It was another special away day. They asked about celebrating with the fans. He said it doesn't happen too often, but he said it was a good goal. Obviously, he said he kept his head down when he hit it. He said it took a deflection, set the keeper the wrong way. But you see the fans going mad. It's hard. He said it's hard to describe. Everyone was high and sprinting toward the fans, and it must be it's got to be euphoric. I mean, never had that kind of experience. I played sports before, nothing at that level, obviously, but it's fantastic. They asked him about Shrewsbury, how they pressed high, and he mentioned O'Connor said, yeah, they had a few chances, not loads. He said thought that we defended quite well, and we did get a clean sheet, and we deserved the win in the end. And I agree with him. I think we did deserve the win at the end. We could have been unlucky at the end, and that's football. They could have equalized. They hit the bar, hit the post. Okonkwo was not out of position. I thought he was fantastic as usual. Okonkwo he's good, got great positioning, and some of the balls that were on target or close to or just off target. I think a couple of them he was beat, but it's not his fault. Sometimes you can't save everything, but he did keep a clean sheet. I'm really, really impressed with AO. I think AO is fantastic, and I hope we keep him. Fingers crossed. I hope we do keep him. But on another day, it could have been different. It could have been 1-1. It could have been 1-1. We could have been going through a replay. O'Connor went on to say that we had a spell for 5 to 10 minutes playing in their half, and we knew we would have spells, and we knew they would have spells, and they did. They had some spells, but I think in that second half we really took control of it too. And he said. I don't know what they asked him about going and scoring in the FA Cup matches, and he said that's the magic of the cup, and not knowing who's going to get the goals, but they did. They really enjoyed playing against the League One side, and then last year we played against Sheffield United, asking them who they would want next, and maybe that's a little bit of revenge. And we're going to talk about that. Who's going to be in the draw tomorrow night before the Manchester United Wingate game. So we'll talk about who's in that draw, who we possibly can get, and some of the big ones up there. Obviously, Arsenal lost today against Liverpool, but I'm not rubbing that in. I'm just rubbing that in. There you go. Okay, so Gio, my man of the match. And listen, it wasn't a sexy performance, but my man of the match because he calmed everything down in the midfield. So he's my man of the match. I don't know who was given man of the match. He said, Gio's interview said it was definitely an important win for the players in the club. Goes a long way back for tons of fans. They really can enjoy today, and something that we really worked hard for and gave a good night of it. So give them a good night going to the fans. So I'm sure they're having a good night. It's only 27 miles away. So they said they really worked hard, and we gave the fans to go away with something to enjoy tonight going into next week. And I think who do we play next week? Back into the League Cup. Let me see here. Is it MK Dons? Who do we play next week? Let me check real quick. What is our next match? I think it's MK. Let me check real quick. Oh, come on. Try to update the thing here. Our next match is next Saturday at, I'm sure you're all already looking up. Yeah. Next, we're away. Oh, no, we're home at the Stoke against Wimbledon. Okay. We're home at the Stoke against Wimbledon. So that's great. So Gio went on to say the atmosphere was incredible. And he said you could see that at the end. And he also said it was absolutely rocking, and you can tell from the warm-up, and it doesn't get unnoticed. So the traveling fans, the 1,659 fans, traveled really well, and they said they can feel it. It's a great rocking atmosphere. That was really good for us. It was a tough test today. Shows our football and how we can handle the game. He said we fully deserve that, said Gio. So I thought we did deserve it. At times – we rode our luck a little bit. Let's be fair. We did ride our luck. Like I said, it hit the post, hit the bar. But we did ride our luck, and some were up just offside. They asked Gio about the goal, and he said, yeah. So I don't know. Gio said Gio took a shot beforehand, and it just was not a great shot. And he said from his pass, he didn't want to shoot, even though the crowd was telling him to shoot because of his previous shot that didn't even come close. He said it hit the floor, but he said he'd opened up and he thought it was a better opportunity to slip Dalby through, and he did. It was a great little pass. And then Dalby slipped Stash in, and Stash hit the ball in the back of the net. So fantastic. He said, Gio went on to say, we have a massive belief in what we're doing. We're a really good side when we keep playing. Battled well today. When the game settled down, we played nice football, and the game opened up for us. We kept battling and working hard. He said he thought the FA Cup was massive, especially for the club. We want to keep that winning mentality. It's very important. Keep the winning mentality. He said they enjoyed today. They want to keep an eye on Monday to see who we have. And let's keep an eye on Monday. We'll see who we have. So those are the quotes after the match. Like I said, I thought that my standout player was Gio. I thought AO did well. It's still a clean sheet. The back line was good. Clearworth was a little uneasy on the ball because they were pressing him too high. That's not his game, That's not his game. I thought they were going down the lines a little bit, and I thought Tozer was getting pulled out a little too far. Normally, we see Tozer kind of pushing the ball, progressing the ball a little bit forward, but I think Tozer was getting pulled out to the wing a little bit, and Cleworth like I said, didn't have a bad game, but I thought that they were pressing him really high up the pitch. Really high up the pitch, and I thought he managed it well. He did manage it well. Ford didn't really get a sniff, unfortunately, because like I said, he was high and couldn't get the ball in. When Barnett came on, I thought he did well. I thought he did really well. I think he changed the game. I think he came on like the 64th, 65th minute. Barnett and JJ came in. We were getting a little leggy in the middle of the park and at the back line. Tozer got tossed off the ball a little bit at one challenge like later in the match, but he worked his ass off too. Tozer, unsung hero. And Tom O'Connor being Johnny on the spot with the goal, fantastic. And that's how we're going to win. I thought at halftime that our win would come from a set piece. It did not, but it came from a defender. And, Moles worked his ass up front. I thought Fletcher, Fletcher didn't have his best match, but he worked hard. They were kind of, like I said, they were lumping the ball up to him a little bit, not the way we wanted to play. And Parkinson talked about that. So, fair play. And I thought everyone played well. And like, that's what it is going to win these matches. And going up there, League Two to League One, and taking a scalp. Fantastic. And it gets us into the round of 32 tomorrow. So let's talk about the tomorrow. So that is, how can I watch it? So the fourth round draw will be tomorrow at 7:50 GMT. So that is 10 of 12 here tomorrow, January 8th. The proceedings will be conducted in advance of the third round tie between Wigan and Manchester United, which kicks off at 8:15. Okay, so that's going to be on TalkSport. Maybe if I'm here, I don't know if it's Monday. It's a tight one. I might have to work, so I don't know if I can do that live, but I will do a reaction to that. Okay, so who's in the 32? Who's in the 32? So Luton or Bolton? That's ball one. We're ball two. Okay, we're ball two tomorrow. So Wrexham, Liverpool, Brighton and Hove Albion are 4, 5 Norwich City or Bristol Rovers, West Ham or Bristol City. So there's a replay there. So Biggins in there. I'm just going to read the Biggins. So us, Liverpool, Brighton and Hove Albion, Tottenham, Fulham, West Bromwich Albion. Actually, I'm reading the whole damn thing. Southampton, Ipswich, Leeds, Leicester, Watford, Newcastle, Sheffield Wednesday, Crystal Palace or Everton, Aston Villa, Nottingham Forest or Blackpool, Wigan or Manchester United tomorrow night. That's the game proceeding to it. So the only game that hasn't been played yet. Manchester City, never heard of them. Blackburn Rovers, Sheffield United. If we can go to Sheffield United, let's see. Swansea City, Chelsea, Bournemouth, Coventry City, Brentford, Wolves, Plymouth Argyle, Maidstone United, the non-league club, Newport or Eastleigh. That's a replay. Hull or Birmingham City. So lots of great ties in there. But we're through. That was not an easy match. To get through to this round of 4. This round 4. So this is big. You never know what can happen. You never know what can happen in the cup, which is why they were talking before the match on ESPN, and they were saying like, why would Tommy Flanagan come out and talk a little smack? Maybe it's jealousy, whatever it is. But I'll tell you this: I hope that every club out there gets the influx of excitement for their side as we have for Wrexham. Everyone deserves it, and it's tough. it's tough to see that on the other side. And I get it. I've been on the other side of things. I've been on the good side of things. But I get the mentality. And Wrexham, like I said, I think that Parkinson does really well keeping the mentality. Obviously, we had Sean Winter on yesterday, and our discussion with him, like I said, hey, we're gonna get everyone's best effort, and we did today. Shrewsbury are not a bad side; they are a powerful side. They didn't score a lot of goals. They clearly don't score a lot of goals, because I think they're 17th or 13th in League One. But and we gave our best too, and that was exactly what Sean mentioned yesterday in our interview. Who I'm hoping to have on more. He said we will give our best effort, and we did. We gave our best effort there. That is what we do. It's not sexy at times, but when we settle down and play football, we do really well. Really exciting match. Really, it's a big win. Really big win. And capped it off with the interview from Elliot Lee. That one's for you, mate. And he smiled. Look at that. It's a beautiful way to win. You don't do your talking. You don't do your talking off the field. You do it on the pitch, and that's exactly what happened. So fair play. No one said anything for the match but me, even though I brought it up. But the players put it all on the pitch, and afterwards, there you go. So that one's for you, mate. I love it. Also, it's really cool to see the 86 minute clap for the fallen gentleman, and I'm gonna get his name right. I want to get his name right. For the Sheffield player who passed away. Let me see here. Sorry, bear with me here. Okay, I thought it was really special in the 86th minute that everyone honored and John Draycott, who passed away on Tuesday, for the Shrewsbury player. So that was really cool to see. What football isn't everything. People matter more, and life does. So thoughts and prayers go out to his family and his friends. And I thought that was really cool to see. And the class on everybody. Everyone was clapping. So that's good to see. All right. That is your Wrexham reaction for Shrewsbury Town 0, Wrexham AFC 1. FA Cup Round 3 is in the books. We're on to Round 4. Away at Croud Meadow. That's a big win. Big time derby. So I will see you all tomorrow after the cup draw. All right. Have a great Sunday. Talk to you soon. And on that bombshell.